there and help provide access to space. Now, Katya had a spirited conversation with the executive director of Space for Humanity, Rachel Lyons. Let's watch.
I'm excited to tell you that we are citizen astronaut number 1, and you're going to space. My mom. My mom.
I am an electrical engineer who has been fascinated with space for her entire life. Space has always been a part of just who I am, who I've always been. So this experience is truly just life-changing, and I think I still kind of don't fully believe it yet.
Something that we're really passionate about with Space for Humanity is defining what it means to be a commercial astronaut or a citizen astronaut. And I'm so grateful to say that your ticket was partially funded by a number of former Blue Origin astronauts.
I think it's so beautiful that you mentioned that, because it's really important to begin sharing these experiences and that these things are out there for us.
You're also going to be the first Mexican-born woman to go to space. So what is it like for you to be this kind of trailblazer?
It's definitely been I am really passionate about my community, and I'm really passionate about women, and particularly women from Latin America, because me making it for me is just not enough. My goal with this journey that I'm about to go on in the flight is to take everyone with me, to take my community with me.
So with that, Katya, what is one message that you'd love to give to women and minorities, to anyone who has a dream?
It's something that you truly want to do. It's really important to listen to those voices around you that tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not worth it, that you're never going to make it. Because if I had listened to at least one of them, then I wouldn't be here about to go to space.
Kaya, that's incredible that you have it. Don't listen to the naysayers. She's a trailblazer and she's inspiring young women and minorities all over to pursue careers in STEM and maybe themselves become astronauts.
And I am so excited, Eddie. She's the first Mexican-born woman to fly to space and the youngest American woman. So we just can't wait for Katya to experience the ride of a lifetime. All right, well, we are just at T-minus 47 minutes until launch. We're standing by, waiting for our astronauts to get the go for astronauts to float into their Rivians. So while we wait for that, let's send it back to the rocket.
desligar o cooler aqui.
Hello, everyone. If you're just joining us, welcome to Blue Origin's fifth human flight. As you can see, our astronauts are loaded up into their vehicles and they're headed out to the launch pad.
That's right. They've got the official go for astronaut load-in, and they're on their way to the rocket there. We saw friends and family, Team Blue gathered in spirit to give them a proper send-off on this road to space.
I know that friends and family of our astronauts have traveled from far, far away. We have folks here from Brazil, from the UAE. It's truly an international here in West Texas.
And we're just so proud, right? We say here at Blue Origin that we're building a road to space. That road to space is here in Van Horn in far West Texas, and we're getting a great shot of that and the reviews.
A internet do Bez está, ó. Não sei se
Well, they're just passing mission control there. As you can see, some hands waving.
Tava ruim mesmo.
And there's the New Shepard operations and maintenance team that prepared the rocket for launch.
Foi fantástico. Eu adorei.
Today,
Paraquedas
waving the astronauts good luck and Godspeed.
Minha internet tá dando umas falhadas ali, mas esse quadra a quadra aí é de lá. Olha, minha internet tá...
So while these astronauts travel the 2-mile road to space to the launch pad, we'll discuss the continued the tradition of making postcards on behalf of Club for the Future. Blue Origin's nonprofit focused on inspiring the next generation to pursue careers in STEM and help imagine the future of life in space.
Our astronauts are going to take their cards from all around the world, New Zealand, India, Bulgaria. We really wanted to give a special shout out to the hundreds of schools in Bulgaria who are watching the launch today. Welcome. All right, well, as our astronauts continue to make their way to the rocket, let's meet today's crew. In seat number 1 is Evan Dick, back for a second trip to space. Evan flew just a few months ago on our 3rd human flight. When we asked him why he wanted to come back, he said, and I quote, "I cannot articulate how the New Shepard experience was. My actions speak louder than my words." He's an ATP-rated pilot and lifelong adventurer. And Evan even collected with Blue on today's mission patch design. So welcome back, Evan.
That's right, Kyle. Welcome back, Evan. In seat number 2 is Victor Correa España. He's a civil production engineer from Brazil who's forever dreamed of becoming an astronaut. Victor's seat is sponsored by the Crypto Space Agency, whose mission is to combine the space industry's technology with the innovation and financial power of the crypto markets in order to accelerate humankind's off-world future. Victor's name was chosen, get this, at random after he bought an NFT that gave him the opportunity to fly to space on New Shepard. Today, Victor fulfills his lifelong passion for space by seeing it firsthand. Bem-vindo, Victor. Boa sorte hoje.
And in seat number 3 is jet pilot and chairman of aviation, Hamish Harding. In 2019, he and former international Commander Colonel Terry Virts broke the global circumnavigation record for flying an aircraft over and South Poles. They did it in just 46 hours, 40 minutes, and 22 seconds. Today, Hamish's life of adventures and pursuits carries him to space.
Victor Vescovo is in seat number 4. Victor is a commercially rated and multi-engine jet and helicopter pilot and an explorer in the truest sense of the word. He's one of a handful of people on Earth who've completed the Explorer's Grand Slam, summiting the world's 7 summits and skiing to both the North and South Poles. He's also the first person to visit the deepest point in all 5 of the world's oceans and having visited the 5 deeps in the first submersible vehicle to return for multiple visits. Just like New Shepard, this is another example of reusable technology at work, opening up the boundaries of exploration and enabling people to do so over and over again.
Katia Echazarreta is in seat number 5. Born in Guadalajara, Mexico, Katia will become the first Mexican-born woman to fly to space. In addition to her STEM leadership, she's also the co-host of YouTube series Netflix IRL, which stands for In Real Life, in which she debunks movie scenes using scientific experimentation. She also plays Electric Cat on the CBS show Mission Unstoppable, and prior to that, she spent nearly 4 years working at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Katia is making an impact on space, and today, we hope that space will make an impact on Katia.
Dream Variation Ventures co-founder Jason Robinson is in seat number 6 today. Jason's had a lifelong passion for adventure in space. He's an avid scuba diver, skydiver, and has even broken the sound barrier in a MiG-29 fighter jet. You might recognize him as a finalist on Survivor in 2002. He recently funded 2 Stanford scholarships for African and African American students interested in STEM in honor of today's trip to space. Kaya, this is an incredibly accomplished crew that is forever linked by a collective passion for adventure and space.
Absolutely, Eddie, and it appears that they're starting to climb the launch tower right now. So as our crew, 5th human flight, gets closer to launch, let's introduce you to a special human of Blue, Marech Ongok. He goes by Mo and supports the New Glenn program. How he got to Blue is a wonderful origin story.
My name is Marech Ongok, and I work at Blue Origin. In South Sudan, I grew up in a village where there was no water, there was no electricity, it was just a hut. When I was a little kid, I would always look up and looking at the stars and always wondering, what's up there? In America, as a refugee, I started going to school and just learning everything that I could, absorbing everything. And watching a lot of Star Trek inspired me to say, oh yeah, we can design vehicles that can take us up there. So after high school, I got my degree in engineering and physics. My dream is to go to space. And so from that childhood moment of looking up into the stars to where I am today, it has always been inspired by the ability to somehow one day make it into space. So I work on the second stage of New Glenn. It's the biggest project I've ever seen. The sheer size of the amount of stuff that it can carry is very, very impressive. New Glenn is the baseline, really, for the road to space. It will be the thing that takes us up to orbit. I'm the senior configurator, so if the teams are having a challenge of innovation, I'm the one that facilitates all of those technical resolutions of the issues. It's very exciting team to work with. Very, very smart people. I mean, oh my God. I stay inspired by keeping me fun. And I definitely believe that within my lifetime, I will be able to travel to space. And I want to go to the moon, Mars, the outer solar systems, the Kuiper Belt, you name it. Sooner the better.
Kaya, I still remember Mo's interview. He was a superstar. He knocked it out of the park, and this is just an example of the incredible story and one of many for all of our employees. Come join Mo and the rest of Team Blue solving ambitious problems. We have hundreds of positions open across all our facilities in Washington State, Florida, Texas, Alabama, Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia, Arizona, Colorado, and California.
That's right, Eddie. We're growing so fast, and we would love to see all of you out here at Blue one day. Okay, well, our astronauts are currently standing by in the safety shelter. Once the ingress begins, they'll ring the bell cross the gantry into the crew capsule.
Okay, we've adopted this welcoming tradition of ringing the bell from the ISS, and we've hit our own. So let's sit tight and listen in to our astronauts ringing in the new era of commercial spaceflight.
Pula aqui então, você pula. Aí, eu verei. Vai ficar lá fora, é? Ai, logo hoje, tadinha, a dele tá uma pinóia, né? No meu carro aqui. É tudo ao vivo, é assim mesmo. Trocando quadro ao vivo, para ao vivo. Lá não tá ao vivo, mas é vídeo já. Já tem sim uns 10 minutos que acabou. Uma meia hora que acabou o lançamento. Eu tô passando o vídeo dele já. Pra deixar registrado. Massa. Legal. Tô de olho aqui pra ver se não entra música.
Our astronauts have now completed crossing our gantry, and soon they'll climb into the capsule, but for now they're going to stop and take a couple photographs.
That's a great team picture, almost as good as the ring road picture where they're standing in front of the rocket at its base.
É não? Tá calor lá fora? Então vai lá pra fora. Não tem sol lá fora, ela não vem de... Tá frio aqui, né? Aí tem um solzinho, ela vai ficar no sol.
I don't know about you, Eddie, but to say that picture, it's a keepsake, is such an understatement.
Oh, it's such a beautiful morning today too. Clear blue skies, and they've got a rocket that's all chilled in with cryogenic propellants behind them that's effectively alive. Oh, it's quite the picture.
Eu vou tentar baixar aqui a definição aqui. Pra ver se melhora um pouquinho. De transmissão. Sem dúvida melhorou. Agora sim.
There they go, the crew capsule, strapping into their seats.
Tava muito alto. O pessoal sabe mesmo, né?
As ingress continues and crew member 7 helps our crew into the crew capsule,
Imagina,
let's take a moment to
que
discuss
delícia
some
que
of the
não é
personal
lá.
things each
Conforto
astronaut
que
will
não,
fly with today.
conforto que não é
Evan's
dado,
wearing
né?
his NS-19 mission patch and football that flew on his previous flight, signed by Michael Strahan and the rest of the crew.
One of the things Victor Correa España is bringing with him is a Brazilian flag with their motto, Ordem e Progresso,
Depois vai ganhar
as a way to
broche.
bring his entire country with him on the journey.
Vai ganhar broche de
Hamish is
astronauta.
bringing a cup with a written dedication to his wife. This same cup has also made the journey down to the Mariana Trench.
Nova is bringing 2 rocks, the Donkey and several equally well-traveled Omega watches.
Katya's flying with a Mexican
Mexicana.
flag photos of her family, and a NASA teddy bear she's had since she was
Youtuber
16,
mexicana.
when the thought of working in the space industry, let alone flying to space, was just a dream.
Jason will be bringing signed art from his son, James, and it's got such an inspiring message there. Dad, I love you to the moon and back. What words to start today's journey?
Melhorou agora a transmissão. Transmitir em 360, aí depois pode olhar até, ver até 720. 60. Né?
As the crew of Fifth Human Flight continues to get ready for launch, in a moment, Capcom Laura Stiles will go around the horn for an initial comms check with our astronauts. While we wait for that, one of the crew, Katia Etezarreta,
agora esse quadro a quadro da transmissão deles.
For those folks,
Tem
and for
problema.
you right now, she recently recorded a special message.
Hola a todos. Muy pronto me convertiré en la primera mujer nacida en México en el espacio. Quiero dedicarle este vuelo al espacio a mi país y a toda la comunidad latinoamericana. Mi deseo es que veas esta misión, creas en ti y sepas que puedes ser el próximo.
Así es, muchísimos saludos a nuestros tapatíos de Guadalajara y a los latinos por todo el mundo que nos acompañan hoy. Qué privilegio para nosotros acontecer esta aventura con Katia. She really is a trailblazer, and I'm so excited that she's bringing us all along with her on today's voyage.
Absolutely. I know the folks in Guadalajara and all over Mexico will be cheering on their very own today as she flies to space.
Tomate, milho. Isso aí só de pão de queijo, viu, mineiro, é uma coisa muito tradicional por aqui também, é o pão com ovo. Fiz uma festa, fiz um café, coloquei o ovo no pão com 2 rodelas de tomate, 1 colher de milho. Tá baixa, a minha internet também tá baixa. Aumentou agora. Agora ainda tá dando um pauzinho ainda. Já melhorou muito o meu lado. Tava fraca. A transmissão 480 tava forte. Tava dando uns picozinhos de parada. Parou, né? Agora é límpida, direto de lá. Falta 28 minutos. Passou e eu nem vi. Tava faltando 40 e tantos minutos quando eu liguei.
Copy. Astronaut data. Copy. Astronaut BB. Astronaut Etezarreta. Copy and astronaut Valium 4. Copy. We are in T-minus 11 minutes and counting. As we proceed here, I'm going to do my best to keep you updated. For now, just sit back and relax.
As you just heard our Capcom Laura Stiles, you can hear our astronauts loud and clear. I don't know if you noticed, next to Laura was the very own Charlie Duke.
That's incredible.
Charlie was the lunar module pilot on Apollo 16, but most notably in his position right now at Capcom, he was Capcom for Apollo 11. And those of you who have been following the space industry and are Apollo fans like Eddie and I are, he is known for saying, tranquility, we copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again.
Those are some very historic lines and very well known in our industry.
Histórica, né?
Okay, you just had dinner with Charlie the other night?
I did. I was fortunate to meet Charlie and his wife, Dorothy. Amazing people. Charlie has stories for days. I could sit there and listen to him just tell stories about volunteering with Jim Lovell to float around in the capsule out in the ocean for 3 days. The amount of things that these Apollo astronauts went through to have the right stuff to fly to space.
What an incredible, rich history we have, and a treat and surprise for our astronauts today. So when that hatch is closed, they'll come over the line and surprise our astronauts. Until then, let's sit tight and watch the rocket launch.
Okay, we have a very special guest today. I have sitting with me for the pre-launch part, Apollo 16 astronaut and the famous Capcom from the moon landing, Charlie Duke, and he has a message for you this morning.
This is Charlie Duke. Congratulations on this flight that you're about to embark on, NS-21. Godspeed. I know you're going to have an exciting adventure, just as I did 50 years ago. So have a great ride, and I look forward to seeing you when you get back. Godspeed.
And as you could see there, the hatch is officially closed. Eddie, can you help walk us through what happens from here?
Well, before we get to that, can I just say that I want Charlie Duke to be my Capcom when I go to space? That's incredible. I'm so excited. But as you asked, and as you pointed out, the hatch is closed. The team is working towards ensuring alignment. The flight director has orchestrated all of these parallel work streams from the booster systems to the capsule systems to the ground systems, and they all work to reach the final go forward together, ensuring their individual roles and responsibilities are met, so that here shortly we can go for launch.
All right, well, while we continue to wait, we'll just keep an eye on the rocket. As the astronauts are strapped into their seats, they're getting pretty excited, Eddie. They're about to head to space.
This is it. What an adventure in store for them today. So let's toss it to the rocket while we wait for that countdown clock to get closer to T0.
Mandioca, não? Não tem mandioca para mel. A câmera tá dentro de um potinho desse aqui, ó. Aí eu furei ele todinho. Volta. Daqui assim, só a parte de baixo que não tá furada. Para ventilar, né? A câmera da webcam. A webcam tá dentro de um potinho desse aqui. Por isso que dá um som meio diferente. Um cigarrinho aqui para dar o tempo. Não passa o tempo, né? A New Shepard da Blue Origin. Jeff Bezos. Eu tô falando Victor Bezos. Victor Bezos. Tem um banheirinho aqui.
Thanks for joining us on our fifth human flight. Evan Dick, Victor Correa España, Hamish Hardy, Victor Vescovo, Jason Robinson, and the first Mexican-born woman to fly to space, Katia Etchezarreta, are loaded into the RSS First Step, ready for their life-changing flight to space and back.
Kaya, RSS means reusable spaceship. This capsule has already gone to space 6 times. Operational reusability is how we achieve our long-term vision. Reusing vehicles, turning them around quickly. This is all essential to reducing the cost of access to space. This vehicle is currently designed for 25 uses, but over time we'll strive to quadruple that number.
Okay, well, we're just under T-minus 21 minutes until launch. For the past few days, the people on top of that rocket have been down in West Texas training and preparing. Let's take a closer look at the crew of Fifth Human Flight, who've named themselves Natural Selection.
At age 5, we watched Buzz and Neil walking on the moon, and I wanted to be part of the space program all through my childhood.
I remember when I looked at the sky and see the stars, this curiosity made me dream to be an astronaut.
I was 7 years old telling everyone, I'm going to work at NASA, I'm going to go to space. I constantly heard that this was not for me, but I never cared, so I did it. I worked at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab, and I worked on 5 NASA missions.
It's just a dream come true. I wanted to do this my entire life, and I told my wife on our second date, I'm going to space someday, and you have to be okay with that. I can I'll be the first person to go to the bottom of the ocean, to climb Mount Everest, and go into space.
Being the first Mexican-born woman and the youngest American woman in space, I think it's so important to start making the demographics of space look like the demographics of our world.
I'm Brazilian, and I would be the second Brazilian to go to space.
I've always wanted to do this, and the sheer experience of looking out of the window is something I'm looking forward to.
It's eye-opening, it's beautiful, it's indescribable. I mean, I knew after I saw it that I wanted to go immediately.
I am just so excited to be able to witness this in person, and I am fully expecting waterworks for sure.
This is the only thing I've ever really wanted to do, and I just can't believe it's happening. I'm living a dream, and I represent this dream for more than 200 million of Brazilians.
This is going to be just an epic, exciting, fun adventure.
We've heard time and time again from our astronauts that they emerge from this experience inspired. They've not only made lifelong friends, but their perspective about our Earth's fragility is forever changed.
Okay, I'm an engineer at heart, and it's always been about engineering for me, but these stories are just incredible. In a moment, Capcom's Laura Stiles will read a special message from the crew of our last human flight. Stay tuned.
É 7 minutos já. Eita. Daqui a pouco a espaçonave vai estar igual a minha panela. Panela de pressão. a ansiedade, vai pro espaço. Aí lá tá todo mundo protegido de você.
The tower crew are departing. We have some very special messages to share with you from the crew of NS-20. From astronaut George Neal, you're about to embark on an incredible journey, one that will provide you with an entirely new perspective of our breathtakingly beautiful Earth. Pay attention to what you see, what you hear, and what you feel.
Daqui a pouco vai estar fazendo calor aqui.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy every moment.
Hoje que aumentou pouco. Ontem estava calor.
Crew of NS-1, you're about to experience 3. The most professional
Hoje já está ventando.
Blue Origin associates to assist in journey. 2, the physical aspect, the ride to space. Repeat that
O sol vai pegar aqui daqui.
And 3, the emotional impact that is indescribable of the view, our home planet, and the darkness of space. From astronaut Sharon Hagel. After today, your life will never be the same. Once you see the world from a different perspective, you have a responsibility to make the world a better place.
Orgulho danado aqui de ser mineiro também, né? Mineirinho também.
That being said, as the engines ignite, you feel the thrust, have fun, and enjoy the ride.
Ai, ai.
From astronaut Marty Allen. They say in real estate, it's all about location and view. And in a few minutes, you will be in a location that few have ever been. And that location comes with $1 million view.
15 minutos.
One that you will never ever forget. So enjoy both, because not last long. And know you are in good hands with Blue Origin. I will watch and relive my experience through you all. Astronaut Jim Kitchen. Dear NS-21 crew family, there are so many takeaways from this incredible experience of which you've embarked. Breaking through boundaries, never giving up on dreams such as going to space, and that anything is possible. 8 billion people have walked our planet, yet only few more than 600 have witnessed what will soon be seen outside your window, our beautiful borderless Earth and space. Relax, breathe, be completely present, and may that truth forever be etched in your memory, and make you ever more humble, compassionate, and dedicated to doing good. And finally, from Blue Origin's own Gary Lai, you're about to experience something so intense and moving that for the rest of your life, you will mark the person you become. It's different at your core than the person that came before. Enjoy the
sem voz, até sem fala, até sem conversa, assim. Mas que legal, rapaz. Que legal, que sorte, né? Eu ouvi falar que foram 160 candidatos só que compraram o investimento lá. Ele concorreu com 160 pessoas só. Olha para você. Parece que ninguém sabia que... Eu acho que se mais pessoas soubessem, eu acho que não seria só 160 candidatos, não. 160 candidatos, cara, e ele foi sorteado. Mas era para ser milhares, né? Milhões de pessoas se candidatando aí para o espaço. Dentre os 160, ele foi sorteado. Muita sorte, né? Não, fora aquela conforto, comidas, experiência de viajar para os Estados Unidos, tudo de graça, né, cara? Nossa, que bárbaro. Deixa eu olhar o relógio, que eu tô... falta 10 minutos ainda. Desligar o fogo. Uma mandioquinha. O Vitor tá levando pão de queijo para... Como o mascote dele vai ser um pão de queijo. Aí amanhã a gente vai ver as cenas de dentro da cápsula. Eu devia levar um pão com ovo também, né? Que em Minas come tanto pão com ovo, cara. Quando a gente está mais precariamente das finanças aqui, quando a gente não está lá grandes coisas para comprar um queijo, para fazer um pão de queijo, comprar um quilo de pão de queijo aí. É pão com ovo mesmo.
I just heard New Shepard is escape enabled.
Pão com ovo salva. Obrigado por você estar aí na minha live. Tô aqui curtindo o meu paeirinho. Tirar a ansiedade. Mas eu acordei com ansioso hoje para ver. As horas passam, né? Pouco tempo atrás eu estava deitando na cama. Falei, nossa, falta essas 44 horas aí. Não, faltava 20 e poucas horas. 20 e poucas horas ou 12 horas? Foram horas quando eu fui dormir. Falei, nossa, falta tanto tempo ainda. Parece que deitei, levantei, já era 8 horas da manhã. Quando eu comecei a mexer no computador aqui, eu levantei meio cedo mesmo. 6 horas da manhã. Tá lá, New Shepard. A hora que eles estavam indo pro lançamento ali, eles pararam assim uns 400 metros da nave. Eu falei, não é possível que eles vão ter que descer da caminhonete ali, descer da caminhonete e vão ter que andar até na nave ainda, até na escada lá. Não, foi para tirar foto. Eles estavam tirando foto. Tirou uma foto assim uns 400 metros da espaçonave, né? Depois entrou na caminhonete de novo, a caminhonete parou do lado da escada. Eu falei, aí sim. Porque ainda tem que subir a escada, né? O sacrilégio de subir a escada. E... nossa. Tava tão longe. Faltam 10 minutos.
As you may see at the top of your screen,
10 minutos
we
que
just
voam, né?
entered a brief poll. So while we wait, we're going to just keep looking at the rocket in beautiful West Texas.
It's okay. We're just waiting for all of our systems to be aligned ahead of the final go no go poll. That'll be the final date for launch today.
Deu um holdzinho ali, ó, de poucos segundos. Ah, parou o relógio. Deu um holdzinho de 40 segundos. Ah, vai dar um holdzinho, 40 segundos já. Sempre dá, né, cara? Pra dar uma checada. Hold é quando para o tempo, cronômetro, aí estende o lançamento, o tempo do lançamento um pouco. Mas a Blue Origin já está com bastante lançamento já na mochila, né? Não vai demorar muito, não. Pode olhar que o relógio vai começar rápido. No máximo uns 15 minutos de hold. 5 minutos de hold. Pronto, parou mesmo. Tem um H embaixo, 1 minuto e 40. 1 minuto e 40 já de hold. Um protetor solar na cápsula, né? Tão calor faz lá. Não pegar sol não, porque o sol no tempo que fica lá. Minha ansiedade aqui você não sabe qual que é. É de ver as cenas de dentro da Blue Origin amanhã. Amanhã a Blue Origin deve soltar as imagens de dentro da...
And we have cleared the countdown clock has resumed on its way to T0. We are just waiting here for the final go, no go poll at the instruction of the flight director. Let's stay tuned.
Vai, ansiedade. desligar minha panela, sabe? Deixa eu ver um pouquinho. Vou dar uma cozinhada, né? Uma cozinhadazinha na mandioca. Deixa eu ir lá desligar. Um tempinho aqui que ela falta. Voltou o tempo, saiu do hold. Voltou, contou 7 minutos falta. Go. Aí tá dando verificada lá para ver se tá tudo certo. Pronto, vamos.
First step, this is your flight director method, is go for launch. Booster commence the terminal count. For the flight.
Okay, as you just heard, we are a go for launch for our 5th human flight. The 6 people on that rocket are about to fly to space in just a few minutes. All right, well, as we tick down to launch, Eddie, can you talk us through the New Shepard's flight profile?
Okay, I'd love to. The flight profile really starts at T-minus 2.5 minutes when we enter auto sequence and the flight controller hands off. The booster does what it can to prepare at T0, followed by throttle up. Lift off occurs at T+7 seconds, and that BE3 engine powers the booster up through the atmosphere just before reaching max Q, the maximum point of aerodynamic pressure. The B3 continues to work up to 2 minutes. It experiences MECO main engine cutoff, and then those two vehicles separate at 2.5 minutes. The booster achieves apogee, and it reuses its aerodynamic surfaces and fins to steer back to the landing pad. The drag brakes deploy, the engine restarts, and we get a nice soft landing over the landing pad. Meanwhile, in the capsule, our astronauts were enjoying microgravity since it's much slower to re-enter. As it cuts through the atmosphere, the drogues deploy. The mains deploy shortly thereafter, coming down for a nice, soft, floating view of the West Texas desert. The landing systems engage just above the ground, with the terminal deceleration system sending a jet of gas of dust, and then touchdown.
All right, well, we're just under T-minus 6 minutes until liftoff. So let's take a quick breather while we wait for New Shepard's spit check.
Ai, ai. Só lá dentro. Vida. Imagina as receitas, tanta coisa guloseimas que eles passaram uns dias lá nos trailers, né? Dormem no trailer, parece. Tem 2 casinhas lá. Eu não sei se é casinha, cozinha. São acomodações e acho que dorme no trailer mesmo. Nos trailers lá, no sítio, no meio do deserto que eles ficam. No dormitório eu acho que é no trailer mesmo. Acho que não tenho certeza, porque cozinha não vai ser no trailer, né? Tem a obra lá, né? Tem a casa, tem um sítio. E essa casinha pode ser banheiro, cozinha, uma salinha maior, né? Para a família ficar assim, para reunir todo mundo, né? Aí cada família fica dentro de um trailer para dormir. É isso mesmo. E no meio do deserto, não tem nada em volta onde eles ficam, né? Esperando o dia chegar. No Texas. No terreno a secura das coisas. Ainda tem matinho ali ainda, verdinho ali. Isso é por causa da época do ano. Tem uns arbustos lá, tá cheio de arbusto lá agora, ó. E os arbustos verdes lá, ó. A época do ano lá tá boa. É mais ou menos 3 horas de diferença. Deve ser a mesma estação do ano, será? É. É no mesmo grau, né?
It appears that we just entered
Diferença do
another
grau, né?
free poll, so let's stand by while our astronauts wait.
Lá pode ser aqui outono, lá pode ser inverno. Lá pode ser outono, né? A gente está no inverno. Lá pode ser outono para chegar no inverno. Não, já passou. Como é que é? Já passou porque é para a esquerda. Ela deve estar um pouco à frente. Mas é a posição do Sol que manda, né? A Terra inclina um pouco, aí esfria, né? Assim é verão. Aí ela inclina um pouco, aí esfria, o Sol fica mais distante, né? O terreno fica um pouco mais distante, esfria um pouco o lugar que a gente está. Isso mesmo. Mas é no mesmo grau, bem perto do grau.
All right, well, we just exited the hole. The countdown
Mas
clock
por
is
ser
beginning,
deserto, é deserto.
and I understand that all 6 astronauts are ready to go.
Ela tá
Let's
ventando,
watch and
ó.
listen as New
Tá bem
Shepard goes
fresco
through its
lá.
final check and revs up
Agora
for
tem que ver se
15 flight.
esse ar que tá indo ali é quente, né? Lógico que é quente. Um vento quente, né? Massa de calor, massa de ar quente, ventando. Começou a fazer barulho, minha panela desligou e o dele começou a fazer barulho. O oxigênio entrando para misturar no nitrogênio.
Auto sequence mode. I
Hidrogênio?
know this is supposed to be business as usual, but I'm excited.
Hidrogênio.
Never get old, Eddie.
Aí vai misturando o hidrogênio com o oxigênio. E é gelado.
And these astronauts sitting on top of the rocket, they're hearing it all, the hum of the
Aí
hydraulic
depois
power
ela
unit, the
produz
batteries, the
oxigênio e
valves
hidrogênio
clicking
mesmo.
on and off.
Ela não
They practice for this moment
produz
over
gás
the last few
carbônico,
days.
né?
I think they're ready to go to space.
Não produz carbono.
That rocket is alive. It's a living,
A queima ali
breathing thing,
do
and
foguete não
it's about to
produz
take 6
carbono, ela
people to space,
produz
and 1 astronaut for the second time.
oxigênio mesmo e hidrogênio. Oxigênio. Encontra com o oxigênio proveniente de ser água, né? Hidrogênio e
And we've got
oxigênio.
the
H2O é
Axis
água.
bridge retracting and those solar shades retracting away from the New Shepard capsule.
Da ponte. Da plataforma ali. Ah, pessoal.
Just about 90 seconds here. We see the aft fins, those fins at the base of the vehicle that help direct the vehicle on ascent
O oxigênio e tem um propelente, né? O hidrogênio é o propelente que faz pegar fogo, né? Carregando. Falta 58 segundos já.
This is the primary form of control for the vehicle on ascent and, of course, for landing, doing a full range of checks, ensuring free range of motion. And the pilot will obtain 30 seconds.
30 segundos, Mel.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to hand it over to Mission Control and launch this rocket. Godspeed, New Shepard. Buena suerte.
Minha cachorrinha ficou cega do olho, cara. Eu tô no xodó com ela que... Porra, já.
5, 4, ready, 2, 1.
Deixa eu aumentar aqui. Emoção, emoção.
Liftoff at 3,700 feet above MSL. that's about how far we are above sea level out here in launch site 1.
And that BE3 engine rumble really coming through as the vehicle approaches the maximum dynamic pressure, the point where the aerodynamic stresses on the vehicle are at their maximum. That BE3 engine will throttle back just a little bit. And there we have it, max Q.
Atrapalhou o som aí, eu não sei se tá o som que tá pegando das caixinhas aqui do...
We're getting such a roar sitting here in West Texas right now. We can hear that BE3 engine just roaring through the sky.
That's right, really doing work to power the New Shepard propulsion module and capsule to space.
Entra o som do site e entra o som da webcam, das caixinhas. Agora eu acho que não tá, meu streamer acho que tá falhando em passar o som do site. Aí tá saindo só o som das caixinhas. Não sei porquê. Eu configuro certinho para sair o som do site e sai só o som das
Here in
caixinhas.
about 30 seconds, Kaya will see the BE3 PM engine shut off for main engine cutoff, Nico.
Partiu. 2.231 km/h o máximo. 2.231 km/h.
And Miko, main engine cutoff. The vehicle is now coasting at over 2,000 miles per hour.
210, 212, 215, 218, 220 pesos. Zero. Gravidade zero.
Okay, we should have separation of the capsule and the booster here momentarily. Laura Stiles will cue the astronauts to unbuckle their harnesses and start floating around the capsule. Victor Vescovo, Katia Chesarreta, Hamish Harding, Jason Robinson, Victor Correa España, and Evan Dick are now in 0G. Let's listen in.
Olha a voz deles. Tá cortando. Separou, né? O booster descendo na frente. É legal demais o pouso desse booster. Ele dá uma paradinha. Ele tem um sensor para pouso que escolhe o melhor lugarzinho assim.
We just received confirmation the crew capsule's apogee of 351,183 feet.
Mesmo sensor que vai ser usado para posar na Lua, né? Já está usando já essa espaçonave. O sensor reconhecimento do terreno, né? Aí ele vai ali no melhor lugarzinho ali. Tudo automático, tudo autônomo. Não tem nada, ninguém pilotando nada. Aí quando está chegando perto do terreno, ele. Coisa que nem a Falcon 9 tem. A Falcon 9 tem a precisão, né, do pouso, né? Pré-determinado ali. Esse aí tem um reconhecimento do terreno, né? E posa no lugar certo.
Okay, it really sounded like they were having a lot of fun in that 15 cubic meter cabin. Congratulations to all 6 crew. They just officially became astronauts. Outstanding.
Both the crew capsule and the booster are now descending, as you can see on your screen.
É o sensor que vai ser usado na Lua. Porque lá não tem plataforma de pouso, né? Não tem isso.
And we'll follow the booster first for landing. That rocket is now reaching its atmospheric pierce point, returning from space and entering the atmospheres. The control surfaces of the fins are now starting to have air pressure to push against and to navigate to over the landing pad.
Imagina você descendo lá de 107 quilômetros de altura. Você imagina a cápsula a 2.000 metros só de altura.
And that booster is now reaching its maximum re-entry velocity, which is just under Mach 4. The booster shape causes a lot less drag than the crew capsule, so it'll win the race back down to the ground.
And we got a great shot there from the booster coming back from space to our landing pad. The wedge fins, steering fins, and wing fin really earning their keep at this point in the flight.
O drone filma assim a cápsula e dá para ver o booster logo perto, assim. Uns 2 quilômetros de diferença. Vem o booster. E a cápsula pousa mais ou menos 2 quilômetros.
And you can just see that the air brakes are deploying here. It's such a critical step in slowing the vehicle down. Velocity starts to decrease very rapidly. You can follow along in the top right corner of your screen, and we just heard the sonic booms.
Loud and clear.
And
there's lift confirmed coming down for a nice soft landing.
And booster touchdown. Welcome back, New Shepard. Welcome back to our 6th astronaut.
For a lot of us at Blue, this moment in flight is one of the main highlights, as it shows off the incredible engineering required to bring a rocket back safely home from space, ready to be reused.
No matter how many times you've seen this happen, a live booster landing onto the pad will always take your breath away. And I know that our 6 astronauts right now, they're sitting in their capsule enjoying the view as it slowly descends down.
In the meantime, we've got quite a shot there of the booster, and there's the capsule re-entering.
Aí a 2 quilômetros de altura ela abre os primeiros, né, paraquedas, os que vão puxar os outros. Vai puxar o dispositivo também pode ser explosivo.
And here are the drogues deploying now.
Isso aí é mais para frear um
down in preparation for the 3 main shoots.
Choque de já dá uma brecadinha. Olha lá,
and there we have it, the 3 main chutes.
Se eu não me engano, são 3.
Wow, look at those huge windows. Maybe we can see our astronauts if we look closely.
3.
While those beautiful parachutes are essential in providing a gentle touchdown for the crew capsule, New Shepard also has an innovative retro thrust system on the bottom of the capsule to make the touchdown even smoother for our astronauts flying today.
Pertinho da Terra aí. Ele abre 2 quilômetros.
And as that capsule slowly descends, that retro thrust system soon will fire moments before touchdown to slow the capsule down even further, just to 1 or 2 miles per hour.
What a great shot there. Guadalupe Peak, the tallest mountain in Texas, behind, of course, our 3 parachutes and our 6 astronauts in their crew capsule. Now, Kaya, keep in mind that here in West Texas, in the desert, we kick up a tremendous amount of dust, but it is a very, very soft landing.
And touchdown, welcome back to Earth, New Shepard astronauts. They just went to space and they are back.
That's right. Welcome back, the crew of Natural Selection.
drone já estava lá em cima. Tentado. Mostrando a cápsula.
So Kaya, our team is preparing the landing, safety operations, and the recovery of our astronauts from the crew capsule.
Pão de queijo. E depois de queijo, né, Léo? Depois de queijo de 3 dias, 5 dias.
You know, Kaya, depending on where the crew capsule in the desert today can sort of dictate how long it will take our recovery crew to get out there, but they are on their way right now, and hopefully we get a shot of that here shortly.
That's the fun part, being in those Rivians, flying down that dirt road. It's kicking up moon dust, very similar to moon dust on that West Texas sand.
Yeah, you're dodging cacti and mesquite bushes and just trying to get to the astronauts as quickly but as safely as possible.
And you can see that trail of dust being kicked up right now as they're headed out to the capsule.
I think that's Victor with a thumbs up to us. He looks happy.
Pessoal lá. Tá deitado ainda.
I don't know about you, Eddie, but I'm really excited to hear Evan Dick's second perspective of going up in space. I know this time he wanted to spend more time looking out the window and enjoying the view.
Ele fica detonado lá. Porque deve ser uma plataforma bem fino, né? Aí ele rompe aquilo ali, parece. Na Dragon tem uma porta, né, que abre o paraquedas. Tem ali parece que fica detonado.
So here shortly, Kevin Sprove, our crew member 7 for today's mission, will be leading the recovery team, will verify that all astronauts are giving him a thumbs up and happy, smiling faces, and then we'll get ready to open the hatch and welcome them back to Earth.
Não, é câmara ali que fica o paraquedas, ali parece que é a casquinha da bacia ali. Parece que teve acidente em cima.
Well, there you have it, Kaya. 2 reusable spacecraft rocket launch vehicles named New Shepard and RSS First Step.
I always love these shots where you have both the booster and the capsule. I know on the way down, the astronauts are always looking out their window to see if they can see that booster coming back down to land.
Meio assim. Aí deve ser a tinta, né? Pode ser a tinta, né?
And there's a great shot of those trucks, like we said, cutting through the West Texas desert, avoiding the cacti and the mesquite bushes.
And just behind our capsule recovery team are the friends, family, loved ones of our astronauts. They've traveled far and wide all across the world, and I know that they're very excited to greet their newly minted astronauts capsule.
That's right, a very joyous reunion. Friends and family are able to meet the astronauts after they step out of that hatch.
A parte de fora, pelo menos, fica energia estática. Aí tem que fazer toda uma coisa de energia ali, colocar os para-raios ali, não para-raio, é fio terra, né? Liga o fio terra ali no descarregador ali, acopla ele, finca no chão o para-raiozinho, no fio terra. Depois que descarrega a energia estática, com muita velocidade, né? Mais de 2.000 km/h. E pega a atmosfera.
And there they are, crew capsule and trucks in the same shot, arriving, as we mentioned, anxiously awaiting the reunion.
You got it. So what's going to happen is Kevin Sprove, crew member 7, is going to get out They're going to secure the capsule and make sure that it's safe before opening the hatch.
What an action shot. That booster in the background venting its propellants, and Kevin Sprogge sprinting to the crew capsule to check on his astronauts. Seeing some thumbs up there, Kaya. This is exciting.
Checou tudo certinho. Olhou, agora vai fazer a ancoragem da energia.
Okay, I didn't count, but that looks like 6 thumbs up to me.
Estática.
What an
Estática
incredible
agora,
moment.
né? Mas
absolutely, our astronauts have returned home safely, and we're preparing to exit the crew capsule.
That really was flawless.
Agora
From
tá
here,
estática.
it appeared to be a safe
Parada
launch
ali,
and
pode
landing.
tomar choque na
Congratulations
bateria.
to the New Shepard Operations Mission Team for doing it.
Estou fazendo a ancoragem lá. Parece que fincou o fio terra ali. Acoplou o fio, lá. O fio terra sendo fincado lá. Pá, 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 martelo. Esse quadro a quadro tá vindo de lá, a internet do Bezos tá meio oscilando aí, vindo do drone aí. A internet dele tá ruim hoje, pra falar a verdade, a internet dele tá ruim hoje.
So we're just moments away before they open the hatch. They're just finalizing preparations here. Looks like the stairs are now set up, so should be any moment now.
And they'll exit this crew capsule in the opposite order that they entered, each hopefully triumphantly enjoying their return to space. Sorry, to Earth.
É isso aí. Tudo certo. Mais um astronauta brasileiro. Isso vai fazer muito pra história, né? Nossa, segundo. Imagina assim, uns 20 anos, tanto empresário brasileiro que vai entrar numa dessa no país, de construir a própria espaçonave, tanto bilionário no Brasil aí. Tanta terra para fazer isso, né, para eles investirem e fazer esses sorteios aí, vende alguma coisa e sorteia, né? Sorteia entre funcionários. Porque o Brasil está caminhando.
There they are, the astronauts standing up, unbuckling their harnesses,
dando muita atenção para a conquista do
and touching
espaço
terra
aí.
firma.
E eu não dou 20 anos, cara, para ter lançamento no Brasil assim, de pessoas mesmo. Particular, né? Basta querer, né? Basta ter dinheiro para fazer
You can
isso
see
e fazer.
there in Kevin's
Igual o
left
Bezos
hand,
fez.
he's got the key to the hatch as we're anxiously awaiting it opening.
Alguém na América do Sul vai animar a fazer isso. Um brasileiro vai estar colocando dinheiro nisso, mesmo que não seja no Brasil os lançamentos, né, vai ter. Imagina lá no Ceará, por exemplo, no no agreste, posando numa nave dessa. Que legal.
Saw a thumbs up there from Kevin.
Tá em tela já,
Opening the
tá mexendo.
And the hatch is open. Welcome back, New
já,
Shepard.
Tá tudo andando lá já dentro.
Let's see if we can recognize some of our newly minted astronauts as they exit the hatch.
Primeiro sair.
I think that was Evan Dick.
That was Evan Dick giving the high five. Welcome back from your second time to space.
A veteran now of the New Shepard journey. There's Hamish with the high five to Kevin.
There's Victor España.
Victor España.
Katia Tesareta.
Victor Vescovo.
Balançando a
Last
cabeça.
but definitely not least, Jason Robinson. That's the crew. That's the crew of NS-21. Congratulations, natural selection, for your trip to space and back.
Right now, as they pose for pictures, I know they're waiting for their families. They're going to be arriving any minute now. They're going to be getting out of their vehicles, and I'm going to see a lot of hugs in just a few moments.
Fotinha histórica. (107 quilômetros de altura. Astronautas, olha só. Turista espacial. Só empolgar e continuar, né? Dar continuação na carreira aí. O astronauta já é, agora de fazer um curso. Agora eles vão fazer um curso, vão ganhar curso de graça, vão ganhar instrução, palestra, visitas aí, podcast,
thank you everyone for joining us today for Blue Origin's 5th human flight. A special thank you to our customers, Katia Echezarreta, Evan Dick, Jason Robinson, Victor Vescovo, Hamish Harding, and Victor Correa España. If you're interested in purchasing your seat on a future rocket ride to space and back, it all starts by visiting blueorigin.com and clicking that link to space. Eddie, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Anytime, Kaya. This was a lot of fun, and we see the astronauts having a lot of fun. Cuánta emoción y qué orgullo para nuestro equipo, Team Blue.
Well, there you have it. The road to space is being built. We took another big step today. If you're interested in joining our extraordinary team, please visit our website.
And if you'd like to commemorate today's launch, we have mission patches, including the one Evan Dick helped us design, and so much more online.
My name is Kaya Ehrlich, and for Eddie Safer and everybody here at Blue Origin, thank you for joining us, and until our next launch, gratidão for Rossiter.
Tchau também.